Leykis 101, the ongoing on-air adult education course that teaches men how to get more tail for less money. We teach women how men think at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's 1-800-5800-866. The basic tenets of Leykis 101. Well, first of all, this class is to teach you how to get laid. We are not here to teach you how to improve your marriage or improve your relationship. We are here to teach guys how to get more tail for less money, how to waste less time, energy, and certainly cashola on trying to pick up chicks or take out chicks or date chicks who aren't going to give us what we came for. Dating equals porking. The purpose of going on a date is to get laid. So if you would like to get laid and you would like to know how to do it, you can call us here at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's 1-800-5800-866. The first phrase of your call should not say, my husband and I, forget it. My boyfriend and I, no. My baby mama, that's not what this class is about. You know, I'm not here to be an advice column to the lovelorn. We are not lovelorn on this program. Love is not important. What's important is getting laid. It's advice to the lustlorn. L-U-S-T, lustlorn. Yeah, I know it's not a word. That's what we do here. The basic tenets. We don't spend more than $40 on a date. Zero is optimum. That includes during these recessionary times. In fact, especially now, it's important to spend as little as possible. As little as possible. But $40 is the maximum. 3 strikes, you're out. If you haven't had a date if you haven't had sex in less than 3 dates, kick her to the curb. Okay? We don't date single mothers. When you date a single mother, you are probably going to be the next sucker on the hook for child support. Okay? We don't, if we can avoid it, we don't go out to dinner. We don't go to concerts. We don't go to movies. And we don't go anywhere where we're going to have to sit and get into prolonged conversations. The idea is to get the alcohol or the weed or whatever. Weed, you're not supposed to smoke weed. But you know what I mean. Whatever chemical inducement you're going to be using, your weapon of choice, it's to get it into her and then get her between the sheets, and that's it. And I was not including, no, I was not including roofies on that list. Please don't do something illegal. That would be wrong. Very wrong. Okay. But that is the purpose of this class. We are here to teach you how to get more tail for less money. And it's never been more important than when the unemployment rate is over 6%, when people are threatened with being terminated or downsized or outsourced or whatever. It's very important to spend as little as possible on dating. It's also very important, I should say, to make sure your game is together, to make sure that you know how to convince chicks that you've got potential, that you are successful, that you are in demand. That's what having game is all about. So if you would like to find out how to do more of that, you call us here at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's 1-800-5800-866. And ladies, if you want to know more about the teachings like Leykis 101, if the teachings make you angry, they make you upset, or maybe there's some women out there who want to get laid themselves. I want to know how to use 101, because by the way, I should just say 101 is not just necessarily for guys. It's for anyone who wants to get laid. We've had lesbians call in here and say they've used the techniques of 101. We've had some straight women who happen to be sluts. They've called in. They've said, yes, your techniques work for me as well. They thought they played a fast one on me. You know, they were like, well, you know what? You teach your lessons on guys how to get laid. Well, I've been using those lessons. Well, great. These lessons are good for anybody who wants to get laid. All right? So if that's you, call me. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's 1-800-5800-866. Jeff on Leykis 101 with your professor. Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Long time, first time.
How you doing?
Yeah, I got a question for you. I've been married for a lot of years. I'm an older guy. I'm 46. And I've heard you talking. I listened to your radio program for a long time. I've heard you talking about picking up gals at bars without having to buy them drinks, and you even talk about ignoring them. How do you do that?
Well, it's very simple. When you go to a bar, you sit down, and if you're not meeting a friend at a bar, at least look like you're there to meet a friend. You talk to the bartender. You ask him the final score of the Dodger game or the Angel game or, whatever game is on. You look like you got better fish to fry than the fish that are dancing on the dance floor. And what happens eventually, and if you're married, you probably haven't had to sharpen your game in a long time, but women are attention whores. And the more you sit there without paying attention to them, the more curious they get.
Got it. So you don't strike up a conversation with them at all. You just kind of pretend like they're there? When I go out, women strike up conversations with me. And that's because they can't stand the fact that a man is sitting at the bar, well-dressed, sitting at the bar, not paying attention to them. So they'll come over and say, hey, what are you doing here? You're waiting for someone? What are you doing here? I've had women come up to me and say this. All right, I'm going to give it a whirl, Tom.
Because then they are striking up the conversation. You don't want to be in the position of having to pursue them, much as that's the stereotype of men. You want them to start pursuing you. And the first way to do that is you never tell a woman, hey, I like that dress, nice hair. What's your sign? Have I met you before? Forget it. Don't be a dork. You know what? The way I look at an evening, if I go to a good bar and I have a few good belts at the bar, that's just fine as an evening. If I don't get laid on a given evening, that's okay. If you've got that kind of confidence, women can't resist it.
Got it.
And by the way, when I go to a bar, I would be perfectly happy to sit at the bar and watch the ball game. Or sit at the bar and talk to a bartender I like. I'd be perfectly happy to do that.
Right. All right, Tom, thanks. Take me out Kobe style?
Of course I can. Jeff, here you go.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
Leykis 101, more calls for your professor coming up.
1-800-5800-TOM. Leykis. 1-800-5800-866. Tom.
I just had something to add to the classic DTB. If any woman ever doesn't trust you or wants you to change your car or your house, you could just say NMP. NMP, not my problem. And if any woman gives you a reason to say NMP, the next logical step would probably be DTB.
It's Leykis 101 on the Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show, Leykis 101. I am your professor. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Chris on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing okay.
First time, long time?
Cool.
My question is, how should we treat the cocktail waitresses if they're talking to us? Should we make it look like we're disinterested in them?
Oh, you can talk to them, absolutely.
But does that? I've seen some guys that look pathetic if they're clamming on to the cocktail waitress, because to me they're just like strippers. They're working for tips just like anyone else.
I'm not saying you should give them money or, give them anything. I'm just saying talking to them and the appearance that they are being nice to you could attract the attention of women. It won't hurt.
That's what we've always done. It helps, right?
Wouldn't buy them drinks, wouldn't give them big tips, but would certainly have a conversation with them as you sit at the bar, absolutely.
And plus, that also makes you like a little more disinterested in the other ones that they might say, well, she's talking to him. I might as well go see what's up.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate the call. Scott in Portland, Oregon, home of the other white meat. You're on Leykis 101. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Great.
All right. So I got a problem. This last girl that I slept with, it was a couple weeks ago, I heard from her best friend who kind of, shoved us together. She said that she has herpes.
And you used a condom, of course.
Of course, I always do. I had a scare that lasted 9 months. I had to wait 9 months to find out it wasn't mine. So since then, I always use a condom.
All right. So you probably don't have herpes. You can get herpes when you use a condom, but it's much less likely.
Yeah, well, I do have a newly formed bump since then.
Have you gone to the doctor?
Not yet. I'm kind of afraid that I know what the answer is going to be.
Well, you might as well get the answer.
Yeah, well, my question is, what's my course of action after that? Is that the end of my sex life?
Well, you might have to move to New York, because 1 out of 4 people's got the herpes there.
No, I love my West Coast.
They got, when they said in New York, they got more culture out there. They didn't tell you that culture was under a microscope.
Oh, God.
No, get the answer.
Yeah. Well, what's my course? Say if it were to come up positive, what should I do?
Well, continue using condoms.
Right on. I guess that's
and the plan of attack is don't lie. If anyone ever asks you, then a direct question, then answer it. Most people are afraid to ask that question, but if you lie, and later she gets herpes, then she'll sue you, and she'll say you misrepresented. So the idea is stay away from that subject, wear a condom.
Right on. Thank you very much, Tom. Hey, could you take me out with a bong hit that blows me up?
I certainly can. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. It's Brad on Leykis 101. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. I just wanted to let you know, long time, first time. And I didn't take your advice for 4 years, and I've been listening very regularly on a regular basis for about a month now. And I took your advice, and I DTB'd.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so I just needed to let you know that I did that.
How did that work out? Did she freak?
Actually, yeah, she did.
Love that. What did she say?
She told me she was going to kill me and everything.
I love when they say that.
Oh, yeah, and I told her, I said, go ahead and cry for me. I don't even care.
Come and get me!
So, yeah, I said, go ahead and cry for me. I'm over it, and I want to see your tears.
Ooh, I like your style.
Thank you. Well, I learned it from you.
Oh, how did she react when you said that?
Oh, she was very, very upset about that. She went out and got drunk and then cried later.
I'll bet.
I was like, cry some more. I was just laughing it up and loving every minute of it.
Unbelievable. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, but I just want everyone to know out there that, I'm 22. I wasted 4 years of my life because it was a controlling relationship. We moved in. Don't do it. It's not worth it in the long run. It's totally not worth it.
I totally agree with you, Brad. And now you're getting more ass than a toilet seat, are you?
I am actually starting a bullpen right now, thanks to you. And I have about 3 people in it, so there you go.
Is that so?
I do. All within a two-day span, 3 people in a bullpen.
How great is that?
Yep. Well, thank you, Father Tom. I appreciate it.
Well, let me know when you get your whole relief staff together.
Oh, I will. Can you take me out Lacey Peterson style?
Well, that would be tasteless, Brad.
Emmer. Hey. Emmer. Emmer, Mitch,
1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Here comes Casey on Leykis 101. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Pretty good. I have to apologize for my opening line, but I have been with my boyfriend for 5 years.
Good boy.
I have spent half of that time trying to find a girl who's as open with sex as we are. I have been wanting so badly to give him a 3-way, the right kind, and I don't...
The right kind?
Yeah. Yeah, the kind that the guys want.
You mean with a girl?
Yes. he actually he gave me mine, and as much as he doesn't want me to feel like I owe him one, I just want to do it for him.
Okay.
I have a really hard time getting a girl who is A, open enough, and B, understands that me asking her to do stuff with my boyfriend isn't going to offend me if she does.
If you had followed my advice, you wouldn't have this problem. Because
I haven't been listening long enough.
Well, you wouldn't have a boyfriend at 22. You would be doing whatever you want with whoever you want.
I know. I was already in the relationship, and we're very happy, and we're not in any rush to get married, and at this point I don't know if we even ever will, or if we'll just stay together as long as we want to and see what happens without legal ramifications.
And you'll just continue having sex with other people?
Open relationship, more like I would say.
What does that mean?
That not necessarily cheating, but like we can still be open to.
But if you were satisfied in your relationship, you wouldn't need to do that.
I am, but it's basically like I just want to do it for him.
But the thing is, again, if you're going to be in a relationship, isn't the purpose of it monogamy?
You could look at it that way.
No, that's how most of the world looks at it. You're the one who doesn't.
I see it sort of as if it's something that we're both into and we're both okay with and we're open and honest about it, then, we're not married, we're still young, we can still have fun.
Yeah, but then one day you're going to close the door and say, okay, we're not having fun anymore?
That's basically, we decided that part of the reason we're not getting married for quite a while.
But how do you put the genie back in the bottle? For example, I did that stuff when I was young. I did it with people I didn't love and who didn't love me. I did it with people I liked having sex with, people I liked hanging out with, cool chicks, whatever. But you can't, you know what? You can't make a whore a housewife. And once you have gone down that road, there's no going back.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
That's the truth. Believe me, I've been married and divorced 4 times. The person you did this stuff with cannot be the person you get a house in the suburbs with. Can't be the person you have children with.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to do that kind of experimentation, it's great. I believe me, I did my share. I had more than 3 people.
Congratulations on that.
I was in bed with 5 people one time. 5 others. I just kept moving down the road.
Yeah.
Okay? But I didn't marry any of them. Didn't fall in love with them. Didn't move in with them. Didn't say I love you to any of them, nor did they to me. Now that's open. Right?
Yeah.
So you can go out and find somebody if you want to. You can do this, but I believe, and by the way, I'm unmarried. I live alone. Okay?
Yes.
So it's not like I'm a married person or a prude. Okay? I can do whatever I want because I am unmarried. But the thing is that, after you've done that with somebody, what do the two of you say? Okay, now that we've been together 10 years, we're getting married and we're going to buy a house and have kids, we're going to stop doing that now.
Yeah.
You really believe that?
I think that's why we are not married yet. And not in a
but
rush,
think about this. No, let's go into the future. All right? Let me take you on a trip into the future. Okay? So there you are. Now you've been together 10 years, and now you say, you know what? We're going to get married, we're going to buy a house, and we're going to have kids. So there you are, 8.5 months pregnant, and there's your new husband, who's used to getting it all the time, any way he likes it. And now you've got hemorrhoids, and you're sweating, and you're fat, and you feel like you don't want him to see you naked. And you're telling him, come on, just wait until after the kid is born, will ya? And your hormones are raging, and you're acting like a bitch. And then there he is, used to getting it whenever and wherever he wants it. This is somebody who's gotten it whenever, wherever, and, by the way, with whomever he wants it. What makes you think he's going to stay home and tolerate that?
I don't know.
That's my point. You should be doing this with people that you're never going to buy a house with. You're never going to have children with. You do this with somebody, and then you say, this has been like going to college. It's been a great learning experience, and now I'm moving on to adulthood.
Yeah.
But your game plan is based on immaturity. You haven't seen what it's like to be 25, 28, 30, married. People don't just put that stuff away, you know?
Yeah, but it's sort of like, it's like us growing up together. Like, we know that we still have a lot of growing up to do, and we're maybe legally adults, but we still have a lot of growing up to do. We're still immature and young.
But then you're not ready for that kind of serious, committed relationship. I mean, you should be doing whatever you want with whoever you want. You know what? Maybe there's two really hot people who want to have a threesome with you. What are you going to say? No, not unless I can bring my boyfriend?
I think if I were to break up with my boyfriend, I would be lonely for a very long time.
Who freaking who? You know what? Grow up. I live alone, and the idea is you've never lived alone. Ever.
What I'm saying is that I have gotten to know over the last few years how, and you have helped with this, how guys think and what it's all about. And that just makes me want to give up on men. But I'm already happy with him, so I'm not planning on leaving him. But
I know you're not planning.
It makes me not want to deal with men.
Well, later on, when you're fat and pregnant, he's going to be like, well, why can't I have what I've always had?
And how is that necessarily going to make a difference?
So you won't mind if he goes out and gets it elsewhere when you have a kid later or when you're married later?
No, I mean, because we experimented when we were younger, how does that make him different than any other?
Because you've now pretty much set the rules. You know what I'm saying? You've set the rules. You've set the bar. You know, it's like once you drive a certain distance down the street, you can't make a U-turn. Don't you agree?
Sure.
Don't do it. Don't agree for my benefit. If you don't agree, this is the time to tell me. You really believe that you can have all these threesomes and do all this experimenting, and then one day you say, okay, the experimenting is now officially over. Now we're going to be responsible adults living in the suburbs, having children. You really believe it works that way?
Not that it would all of a sudden one day change, but it would, I think it would be eventually we...
So then you're married and you're having sex with other people too.
What?
So after you get married, you're going to keep doing this? I mean, you're going to try to taper it off at that time?
No, I'm saying it would, like, if it tapers off at some point and then we over time, not just one day I decide to end it, just over time we decide, okay, we're done with that.
What if he doesn't decide he's done with it at the same time you're done with it?
This is not what I called for.
Well, darling, this is important. All right, what's your question if that's not what you called for?
I was going to ask if you had any advice for me to find the open girls and how to approach them about it.
Well, the way you find open girls and approach them is at a bar. Not a gay bar, just a bar.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to do the approaching, not him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'd recommend having a couple of drinks to loosen yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
And then looking around the bar with him and seeing who the prospects are. And then you go up and approach them. And you tell them that you and your boyfriend have been looking at her and that you two are interested. That's how it's done. I know because that's how it was done with me.
Yeah.
Hang on a second, Casey. Kevin, what did you want to say to Casey here?
I would like to say you are as stupid as can be to think 1 second that you can give him all that and he's going to change. I used to date a girl just like you. We went out, we did whatever we wanted to, we went swinging. We used to bring girls home, guys home, do whatever we wanted to. And when all of a sudden she decided she wanted to take the next level, she wanted to get engaged and it wanted to be just me and her and nobody else, I left her. I'm sorry, you cannot expect him to change. Once you've set it open and they said, okay, we're going to do this and this, and you've offered to let stuff do, it's out there. You can't change them. I mean, if you want stuff to change, you're going to have to find another guy whether you like it or not. I think that's just the way men are. Deal with it.
What do you think, Casey?
I think that the reason we're both going to change is just because we're growing up.
Why do you assume everyone matures at the same pace?
I don't.
But you do. We're growing up. We aren't doing anything. You're doing something, and he may or may not be doing it. I might add, Casey, at my own age of 52 years old, I'm doing what guys in their 20s do. I'm enjoying life. I live alone. My life is built around my personal pleasure. It's not built around having a family or having children or doing what older men do. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. Maybe he'll never, quote unquote, grow up. Hello?
Hello?
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
If he never grows up, then at some point we're going to be breaking up anyway.
But that's my point. Save yourself the heartache. If you want to have threesomes and have experiences with this guy, that's great. The day you've decided to grow up, you need to move on, and if you're going to get married and live that life, do it with somebody else. Don't plan it with him. You're really being unrealistic.
All right, I guess I just wanted the best of both worlds.
I know you wanted the best of both worlds, but you know what? Everybody wants the best of both worlds or the best of all worlds. You can't have the best. You know who wants the best of both worlds? The guys who call in here and they say, oh, I'm married, my wife is wonderful, she's really cool, I love her, but I'm also having sex with the receptionist at my office. Now, that guy wants the best of both worlds. What do you think of a guy like that?
That's a guy.
No. That's someone who wants the best of both worlds. Who's not realistic.
All right.
You don't sound very happy about this. Are you okay?
Yeah.
What's the matter? Oh, boy.
Oh, we had to use the zero-tolerance policy. You're out! Amidst the tears, she emitted the S word. Fortunately, the FCC still hasn't proved that one yet.
Like it. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Man, I've been taking your advice, man. Your methods work. I have gotten laid with Asians, Hispanics. Heck, I even had a Norwegian one time when I went to Venice.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
From Hollywood, it's Leykis 101 with Professor Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Maya on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Maya?
Yes, Tom.
Yes.
What would you say to a guy that listens to your show and goes by your rules and then breaks them?
You shouldn't be breaking them.
Well, what if he is?
You haven't told me the story.
Okay, well, I am 18 and my boyfriend is 24. And when we first started dating, he used to talk about you, that you're his father. And we listen to you together. I mean, you have a great show. You make us laugh. It's great. But he used to go, you have 3 strikes. I broke those 3 strikes. That third date bone you thing. I didn't bone him till like the 3rd week.
The 3rd date bone you thing, yes.
And he just broke all your rules. What would you say to a guy that did that?
Again, same thing. First of all, is he your boyfriend?
Yes, he's my boyfriend.
How old is he?
He's 24.
Not old enough to have a girlfriend, and you're not old enough to be a girlfriend.
Well, I kind of agree, but it's fun.
Well, again, this is not supposed to be for fun, dear. This is supposed to be emotions and this and that. For some people, it's spiritual. No, it's really not.
It is. I mean, I love him. He's a good guy. He says he loves me, and I believe him. And we're really happy together.
Well,
but
you know what? If a 10-year-old boy got behind the wheel of a police car and was given the keys and said, here you go, kid, turn on the siren and drive this around town, he'd be very happy.
Yeah, that's true.
Until he drove the car down the street and ran it into a wall.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Well, hopefully it doesn't, but what are the odds? Probably would happen, right?
Pretty
so
much.
The fact that you're 18 and you're happy doesn't mean it's the right thing for you to do. And it doesn't mean it's going to end well.
Well, I am probably thinking, you know, I want the best to happen. I love him.
Well, I know you want the best to happen. You know what? I want Santa Claus to come to my house on December 25th. That's what I want.
I did too when I was like 5.
Do you think it's going to happen?
No.
Well, but it's what I want. Yeah. I want that. You hope it's going to happen.
I want to be with him, and I got him. I actually...
You have him for now. You have him for now, and you used your vagina to get him.
I'm in the car right now, Tom, and he's coming to the car.
Yeah, so you have to go now?
No, I don't.
No, but you're going to have to
know.
No, I don't want to talk to him. He can call himself.
Hey, babe.
All right, attention, whore. I'm going to move on. Thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Here's Jamal on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello, Jamal.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm okay.
Okay. Well, I got this situation going on. Me and my girlfriend moved in with each other like around July. And now she's pregnant.
By the way, there's something you told Dean about her that you haven't told us.
Well, she already has one child.
She already had a child, and then she's now going to have your child. So that's strike one. You got involved with a single mother, which we told you not to do.
Yeah.
Then you had sex without a condom, strike two.
Yeah.
And you knocked her up. Now, give us strike three. I'm sure there's going to be a strike three.
I'm really, well, really for the whole time I've been the main one working.
course you have. Get used to that, because that's what you're doing for the next 50 years.
Yeah, and like, I'm trying to get her to see it that way, but it's like, all she sees is, like,
money.
I just want to have a baby. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's 18 years that we're going to be not even necessarily happy together, because our relationship wasn't that great before that. And, like, she thinks for some reason this is going to make it better.
Sure it is. But, you know,
this is going to put stress on a relationship.
There's only one thing she sees. Cash from you.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
I mean, I've been in a position, and, like, we don't really get along now that she's pregnant.
By the way, why are you doing all the working? I mean, doesn't she have her own place?
No.
There's strike 3 right there.
Yeah. And I've been getting on to her about that the whole time, about getting a job. And, you know, like, I don't fault her for not having a job.
Why did you let her move in?
Because, okay, she had a little waitress job at the time.
Why did you let her move in? Where was she living when you met her?
She was staying in Dallas.
And where? In a cardboard box?
No, she had an apartment.
She had an apartment. And she left the apartment, why?
Because at the time, we thought it was a good idea.
Why did you think that was a good idea?
Hey, if I could go back, I wouldn't do it again. But
yeah, but what made that seem... You have not been a student for long, I take it, Jamal.
No, I really just started listening, man. I've been trying to get in contact with you ever since.
Well, you know, if you'd been listening, I would have told you at the time. You don't let her move in.
Yeah.
That's why you're in the position you're in now. If she had to pay her own rent, she would have to keep working.
Yeah.
By letting her move in, you gave her the opportunity to quit.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
So what was your question?
How do you feel I should go about this whole situation?
What situation? You've already... The situation where there's a 20-foot hole, and she's got a shovel, and she's shoveling dirt on top of you, and you want to know what you should do about the situation?
I have an idea, and I've been trying to slip it into her, but that's not really what she wants to do.
Which is, you want her to go to work, and she doesn't want to.
Not necessarily that. I really don't feel that we need to be having another baby, because the way things are, I was the one bringing the majority of the money in, and
well, she's what makes you think she's what? She gonna have an abortion? Is that what you're saying? You want her to have an abortion?
Honestly, yes, I'd rather her do that.
How many weeks pregnant is she? How many months?
8 weeks. About 8 weeks.
Now, have you asked her to have an abortion?
Yeah, I've kind of hinted at it a couple times.
Well, you can't. That's something you can't hint about.
Yeah.
You have to say it. She's not taking the hint.
Yeah. Every time I hint at it, you know, it starts a long, drawn-out argument. It goes on all night long. But it's just like she doesn't see.
Well, how long is your lease, Jamal?
It ends in December.
Right. Well, I would say that's the time you have to look for a place to live.
Yeah. I've already made that decision already. I'm not going to be getting that lease back with her again. I'm going to be staying by myself.
That's right. But here's the thing. You can't throw her out the way the law generally works, so you just have to find your own new place.
Yeah.
If I were you, I'd start that process right now.
Yeah. Gotta do something.
Well, you're not kidding. Should have done something before. Now it's kind of late.
The Tom Leykis Show.